Good day, I am Padilla Allysa from 3CRY821. So today, I discuss the Paraffin test and gunpowder residue. So before we start, we have the two lesson objectives. First is define gunpowder, and second is discuss tests for gunpowder nitrates. So the first topic, what is gunpowder and paraffin test? So gunpowder, an explosive consisting of the powder mixture of salt, pepper, sulfur, and charcoal, the earliest known propellant explosive. Gunpowder has known largely been superseded by the high explosive, although it is still used for the quarry blasting and infuses the fireworks. Although it can be exploded, its principal use as the propellant. Historians believe gunpowder originated in China. Initially, it was used for the incendiary. Later, it found the application as a fuel and explosive. So, ano naman po yung paraffin test? So, paraffin test is a method of finding gunshot residue or GSR. It enhances a possible shooting suspect. The tester will dip the suspect hands in the sort of melted wax. So, yung paraffin test po is ginagamit or ginagawa sa mga suspected person. So, dito, kapag sa paraffin test is magkakahanda, kukunin yung kamay or ilalagay yung kamay ng pinaghihinalaang suspect sa isang boiling na boil, and doon yung nakalagay yung melted wax. So, doon, ipapatong nung pinaghihinalaang suspect or suspect na itetest siya. So, dito hanggang sa maging malamig na, itatanggalin na po yung kamay niya. Then, kapag natanggal na ito, isi-examine na nito. Then, makikita rito yung mga konting powder, at kapag ito'y naging connected doon sa ginamit na gun, siya yung talagang suspect sa pag-shooting doon sa isang biktima. So, meron po tayong mga topic na i-discuss ngayon. So, first is describe the chemistry of gunpowder and why do many terror groups can easily make their own EAD or improvise explosive devices. So because they really studied every need to make gunpowder, and another reason is easy to find recipes for making it. Gunpowder is regardless for the formulation has one specific purpose, the creation of oxides of carbon, in particular carbon dioxide. The rapid creation of this gas is to be propelling force that pushes a projectile or bullet down through the barrel and toward its intended target. In that process, they produce more gunpowder. So next is where and how does the shooter get the gunpowder residue? When a gun is fired, that the gunshot is residue particles. Small particles produced during the gunpowder explosions are emitted from the back of the weapon and the muzzle. This is the particles fly onto the skin and clothing of the person holding the gun. They contain the elements that result from the propellant and primer decomposing, as well as from the bullet, which normally contains the large amount of lead, bullet coating or jacket cartridge components, and previous residues in the barrel. So characteristics elements include antimony or SB, PB, BA, and for the special types of ammunition is titanium and zinc. This cannot be taken from the suspect, which adhesive collection devices for the further investigations. So, describe how gunpowder residue can be detected. Explain the different tests for determining presence of nitrates and lead. So, dito, a detective walks up to the crime scene and finds victim shot to death and possible shooters. Now, researchers have developed a portable electrochemical sensor that allows the detective to quickly detect gunshot residue on a suspect hands to separate the guilty from the innocent. So the last topic is describe the procedures on how will you conduct a paraffin test. So paraffin test is a method of finding gunshot residue or GSR on the hands of the possible shooting suspect. The tester will dip the suspect hands in the sort of melted wax When the wax has had time to cool, the suspect is left with the lovely white wax gloves. The wax is then peeled off the hands and examined for the flecks of the evidence that has been shot of the firearm recently. That's all for the day. Thank you and God bless.